Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Wednesday, March 4th, 2020. I'd like to bring you an update pertaining to 15-month-old Evelyn Mae Boswell out of Sullivan County. Her grandmother attended court today, Angela Boswell, and during this court proceeding, Angela Boswell let the judge know that she did not have income, but that she has been trying to seek an attorney, but she does not have adequate funds to do so. So he was quipping back and forth with her, which was interesting because it seems like maybe he wasn't having a good day or he's just a bit of a stern judge. But he kept asking her, what's the problem, what's the holdup, and she was basically saying that every attorney she reached out to, they would not return her call, and because this is a high-profile case, that maybe that is the issue with someone not wanting to take her on as a client. So finally, as they go back and forth, and as I state, she relates to the judge that she does not have income and that someone else would be hiring the attorney, because he kept asking that. Oh, so you don't have the money? You're not going to hire? When are you going to hire? Someone else is going to hire? Okay, that was the gist of their story. Today, she will not be using a public defender at the moment. Her court date has been put off until March 24th, and then we will see if Angela Boswell has an attorney. The next update is pertaining to her lover, Mr. William Mccloud. This said information is brought to you by WJHL Tri-Cities 11 News, same source for the Angela Boswell information. William Mccloud seen blowing kisses trying to communicate with Angela Boswell in court. And when you open up this said information, you will see video footage of the court appearance. William Mccloud, the boyfriend of missing Evelyn Boswell's grandmother, reappeared at Sullivan County Court on Wednesday. Mccloud, who has not bonded out of the Sullivan County Jail, appeared Wednesday morning directly after Angela Boswell, Evelyn's grandmother, was arraigned on the theft of property charges. Mccloud's lawyer told the judge that they were ready for a preliminary trial, but the state of Tennessee was not. His lawyer said witnesses from North Carolina are not able to appear in court yet, despite the judge saying the hearing should not come as a surprise. Mccloud's lawyer asked for a court date of March 24th and a reduction in bond. The judge agreed to schedule the hearing for March 24th, the same date as Angela's next appearance. Mccloud's bond remains the same. News Channel 11 camera crew inside the courtroom observed Mccloud mouthing words and blowing kisses to someone else in the room. Our camera crew reports that Angela Boswell re-entered the courtroom after leaving, and that is who Mccloud was reportedly trying to communicate with. For complete coverage of this ongoing Amber Alert, click here, and that was the said information in that article if you need to learn any more about the Amber Alert. This is the said information from WJHL News 11 out of Tri-Cities. Okay, so William Mccloud appeared in court this morning as well as Angela Boswell. Both court dates have been set to March 24th, same day. He basically told the judge in his hearing that he does not work, he does not have income, so at the moment he has a public defender defending him. Don't you find it interesting that both clients, both lovers, do not work, and both are in jail? Well, he's in jail. She's bonded out, excuse me. But I find it interesting that he was in the courtroom trying to make contact, made contact. Obviously, it was Miss Boswell. I got to see the footage. There's a video on YouTube at the moment. WJHL's, they have their own channel, and you can watch the footage of her attending court and just watching him trying to talk and, you know, do all that kissy, blow kisses stuff and mouthing this. And then as he exits out of the door to leave court, he mouths, "I love you." And I thought to myself, love what? You two are walking around this earth, obviously doing nothing, don't have anything to show from living. Neither has a place to live. You both have been implicated in a child's disappearance with a stolen car. You both have previous arrests. You have violent offenses on your arrest, Mr. Mccloud, for violence towards your ex, which is your baby's mother, if I'm not mistaken. She also has prior convictions. And this is all you all have. This is all they have to show from breathing. And she's old enough to know better, to be doing something with herself. He's 33, still above the age of 18, still old enough to know better. But as you see, both are in cahoots with one another, living frivolously off the land. And some of you have made mention that you think that they are drug addicts. Well, one might come to believe that due to the fact that you're sitting here watching two grown adults, one 33 and one's 42, neither work, neither has viable employment, neither has an automobile, neither has a place to live. So what you have to ask yourself, what are you doing in your free time? Yes. There's been mentioning in the comment section of Mr. Ethan Perry. As you all know, yesterday made 2 weeks of the Amber Alert. There has been no mention of Mr. Perry coming back to Tennessee. If he has arrived, it has not been relayed to the public. He is not giving any public comment that I know of to the news, and I do find this strange that you are not hearing anything about anything he has to say pertaining to his missing child. And by now, I would think the military would have given him leave to come back to Tennessee, and I think he would have been here Johnny on the spot, and that's my personal opinion. Okay? Now, one could argue that he's in Iraq or he's overseas. Once again, it would not take 2 weeks to get a written statement from the military to give him proper leave to see about his child. And as for the questioning of the state making a comment, the sheriff rather, about if and when Evelyn Boswell is returned to the eyesight, that the mother would not get custody of her, and he made a statement saying the child would be put in the state's custody. I think most of you should know why he would say that, and I think it's sickening that someone has to explain that to you all, and you're above 18 and have common sense. The mother has lied about the child's whereabouts and given conflicting statements every time she spoke with law officials. Her family has also given conflicting statements to the police, detectives, investigators. As for the father, don't you think law enforcement has been in contact with Mr. Ethan Perry about the issue of his daughter being returned? If and when she's returned, would he come get her, take her in, yah. So ask yourself, if the child has two parents, why would the sheriff make that statement of the child going into state's care if she is returned? Because that means there is no one to take care of her. And I don't know why anyone would want to bicker back and forth about that when you should know the sheriff and the state by now would have talked to Mr. Ethan Perry about that scenario if and when it arises. And obviously, he's not wanting the child, take the child in. Because you see, if that's your only child, you would want to do what's best for your child, whether you're in the military or not. If that means taking time off from the military to make provisions for your child, you would do so. And that's why even now, 2 weeks in, one can question, I question, the validity of Mr. Ethan Perry being the child's father. Because one, we have not heard anything from him publicly. And at that time, 2 weeks ago, it was the start of an investigation. So he should not have had any problem with giving a public comment about anything pertaining to Evelyn Mae Boswell, such as the last time he talked to her, the last time he saw her, his relationship with Megan Boswell, how he feels about his child being missing. Don't you find that odd? He has said nothing. So I don't want to hear anything about he's quiet, he's this, he's maybe he doesn't want to say anything. That doesn't make any sense when you have a missing child. You should want to say something. And you should want to dispel any rumors, innuendos, and speculations. Because this is a child we are talking about. She is not a toy. She is not a doll. She is a live human being. Hopefully, still alive. And that's just my commentary on those said situations. But as you see, the mother is currently locked up, Megan Boswell. We've had no mention from the father, public statement to the news, Facebook, whatever. Angela Boswell, the grandmother, has bonded out, and William Mccloud, the boyfriend, is still incarcerated. and bond still the same. And we will see what happens on March 24th in both cases. Angela Boswell still has an ankle bracelet, so as you see, that wasn't removed today. And I will tell you, the judge came off to me like he was irritated with the state, because the state weren't ready to go forward in the Mccloud case. And he basically was telling them, hey, what's the problem? Everybody knows about this case. Everybody knows what time of day it is. Why aren't the people from North Carolina showing up to court? They knew about this. So I guess the attorney, was basically saying, well, people have to take off from work, yeah. And the judge was like, and, hey, what's your point? They know about the case. They know they had to come to court. And that's the said situation there. But he was very, very stern, a bit argumentative in my, just in my opinion. Maybe this is his personality. But as you see, despite all the wordings between he and Mccloud's attorney and the state, Mr. Mccloud will go to court on the 24th of March, and so will Angela Boswell. This is my update to this case. It is a sad case. It is a sad case to know that this child was in the world and she really didn't have anyone, although she was in the custody of Megan Boswell. But she was alone in this world and had two parents and alleged grandparents, uncles, yeah. But in the end, Evelyn Mae Boswell was alone. And to me, that's a tragic thing, to be a child in the world. You don't ask to be here, but you don't have anybody. Although you're living with someone and they're raising you, but you don't have anyone. And I think the way this case has unfolded, it's quite obvious she doesn't have anyone. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below. And thanks for joining me on this wonderful Wednesday, hump day. And I will be back with an update. Thanks a lot. Talk to you guys later. And prayers for Evelyn Mae Boswell. Bye-bye.